Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. I know that you've heard that before. And also know that the message tends to go to the person that really needs to hear the message. So the message might not be for you. Also, know if you're new to my channel that I don't like to just look at what goes on the surface. We do look at, how your person feels about you, what their true intention is, what they did do, and all that good stuff. But we really focus on the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they play out as karmic themes within your experience, because you are your own healer. You're the alchemist to your life. And when you have new awarenesses, you're able to quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience, meaning that when you understand why your person's actions and behaviors towards you are a certain way, you're a lot of times you're able to diffuse the trigger that they create within inside of you. And that allows you to deal with a situation much differently. See, when we get triggered, we tend to react from a place of fear. And when we're able to look at things in a place of detachment, a place of not taking it personally, we no longer get triggered. It's almost as if we're listening to someone else's situation and able to give the person that we're listening to good advice because we're not emotional about it. We're balanced. So that's what shadow readings do. They allow you to create awareness. I also take it a step further to say what healing modalities you should incorporate or what new perceptions and actions you could integrate into your situation to create balance. Because karmic relationships are all soul relationships. So there's always passion and a deep soul connection, one that's very strong in the 5D. But the issues don't happen to be in the 5D, in the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is of love. They're in the physical realm. And mainly a lot of times because we're born into families and environments that make us form behaviorisms that support our survival, whether that's emotional survival, physical survival, psychological survival. However, we leave those environments and we take a lot of our behaviorisms with us because a lot of times they're just conditions. The more we think something, the more it becomes a neurological pathway within our mind. And this is where automatic behaviorisms come from. So if you're interested in getting a shadow reading, you want to definitely like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in the comment bar. And why I call it the word of the video, it's always how I like to start my readings off because I wouldn't know where to start. Everything's a co-creation process when it comes to the spiritual realm anyway. I think it's everything in life, is a co-creation process between you and the universe, between you and God. God is the universe, is the energy of unconditional love, and as the energy that we are supposed to be. The shadows create blocks that we detach from, that we've rejected. So, it's of a lower consciousness. Unstructured. That's the word that you're going to write in your comment bar. So you know that if I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath your comment, if I did, you'll reach out to me to my email at, I think it's under pureenergyhealer70@gmail.com. And if you don't remember that, just go to the description box. In that description box, you'll find all important links and my website, my Patreon link. So if you're someone that is in need of shadow healing and can't afford a coach, well, then you definitely want to check out my $7.99 a month subscription, and it's the Psychic Soul Healer Shadow coaching system. And I teach inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and all the healing modalities to heal the effects of trauma, because trauma creates detachment. And when I say detachment, what happens is that there's a disconnect from the body and mind. The body and mind don't work as well together. People that have gone through a lot of trauma hold a lot of energy up in their head. They're always thinking, they're always worried, and they're no longer in the physical body. And so that's what creates the disconnect. That's what creates the disassociation, where we've gone through an experience, but we don't really know what it feels like, and we're missing elements and pieces of the situation because of that trauma. So integration is all about first becoming aware of what we've detached and dissociated from, and then it's to integrate the new spiritual like modality in this unstructured. I don't look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as a thing, Virgo, where you grew up in an environment where there was no structure because there was a lot of chaos. And so you are more of a creative thinker. You're more of an intuitive person. So people don't tend to see your vision at first. They see it after. But by the time that they see it, they almost get so inspired by it, they want to do it, but they can't copy it. And it's almost like I feel at first people perceive you as not as capable because they don't understand the way that you do things, because you do things your own creative way. The creative genius part of self is that God part of self, and that's an actual unfoldment process. And it's an unfoldment process through what it is that you're doing. It's where you're going. It's how you get inspired intuitively and then absorb and learn information and then assimilate that information and then ground that information. It's not a structured process. So people tend to, like I say, not understand you. So I feel like the person that you're connected to or that's tapped into you is didn't understand your way. They tend to be very structured, very methodical, very organized, very Virgo, where I don't really feel like the Virgo that I'm tapped into has Virgo traits. I feel like they may be Virgo when it comes to cleanliness, when it comes to certain things, but not structured, not methodical, more of a creative right brain thinker, where Virgos can tend to be very left brain, very logical and analytical. So this is just saying that someone didn't understand your process, and now they're like, wow, I see like your vision, and I want to be a part of that. I see the vision, and I see how it could be needed. Where I didn't see how it could be needed when you told me, I thought that you were wacky. I thought that you were a dreamer. You didn't understand it. And like I said, I also feel like you have a lot of people admiring what you do. And not even like you're sharing, but these people, they just can't take their eyes off of you. So if you're on social media, they're definitely watching. Everyone's watching you. And it's almost like you're the person that people look to, but they don't give you that credit. And they don't give you that credit because, like I said, for a long time, I feel like people were talking crap. And they were talking crap because they didn't understand your unique process. So we're going to see how that played out within your connections. Okay, with the person that's connected to you, we're going to see. We're going to see first because, like I said, they didn't like it. So it tells me they didn't respect you. Now they want to, but we need to see what they did. And then we'll look at their true intention, needs, like your emotional needs weren't met. I feel like they wouldn't give you what you needed. They wouldn't give you the time. And like they said, it's because they think this person's very educated and tends to look at things from a very surface level. Um, like the car that you drove, or maybe the house that you lived in, or whatever, something from the outside, and also on top of it, the school, and just the way that you think. You think much differently than this person. So they didn't give you the time. And that kept you, again, where you felt very alone. And I feel like that triggered you because I feel like that's kind of like the environment that you grew up in. No one gave you structure. There wasn't any structure. There wasn't any support. And when there's no support, you become a creative visionary. See, the child that survives thrives. And the reason why is because they're in the creative realm. That's a psychic mind, the intuitive mind. However, we're in physical form to learn and to manifest. And we learn through our connections first. So I feel like this person awakened something within you. They triggered you because they did have an attraction. They did have a soul connection to you, but they wouldn't give you what you needed. Because again, they almost felt like that there was going to be someone better out there. Again, and now I think that they expected you to crumble. And I think for a little while on an emotional level, you might have, um, because like I said, this at first triggered you. So it was more like, I feel like this person had an itch, sorry. Trying to do that discreetly, but I just couldn't do it. Um, like, because it felt so good. You know, when you have that scratch and you're like, anyway. So like I said, I feel like there was a part of them that didn't like your process. So you could be someone that's very spiritual, and they could be also very religious. You could be a Democrat, they could be a Republican. It's like I said, it's like opposites. And it actually, I feel like, irritated your person in the beginning, that they had feelings for you, but they didn't like how you were, if that made sense. And they wanted to make that, like, to break you. They wanted to, like, things to fall apart. So that was part of the reason why they also didn't give you energy. And what happened is, I feel like you got stronger. You got stronger, and you got stronger because, like I said, your process is different from everyone else's. So no one can copy you. When that's the creative visionary, understand God makes a way where there is no way that's just for you. And that's through your intuition. That's through the God part of self, the spiritual part of self, that creative genius, that supernatural part of you that knows exactly what to do. And people, what they don't understand what you're doing, but then all of a sudden they understand what you're doing. But they've already ruined the connection. That's what it looks like a lot of times. And that's what I feel like happened with certain friends, certain people in your environment. They just refuse to give you the credit, refuse to clap for you. And with this person. So it again kind of brought up that same, kicked up that same feeling of being alone. I just don't think it didn't break you, it made you stronger. And so it and that's because again you're co-creating. And so no one can stop you when you're co-creating. Only you can stop you. And that's what this person wanted to do. This person wanted that to happen. I can't stop thinking about you. Of course they can't, because it's like they stood now, they're like, wow, like look at this. What I mean, how how did I first of all, I feel like they're like you were right there and now you're not. Like you were right there. Like I could have built a relationship with you. You were right there. And how come I didn't see what I see now? And so they're like questioning themselves. And really that's what spiritual relationships do, right? They make us look at ourselves and we say, did that person, because the person makes us feel a certain way. And that can be when it's a friend. We have a friend, we have soulmates that are friends that stay in our life. And we, again, they do something. A lot of times they hurt us because they're not perfect. No one's perfect, only God's perfect, you know. So We all have our wounds, and they, unfortunately, we tend to hurt the people that we care about. And that makes the person that we care about a lot of times look at themselves like, did I do something? And it triggers them, that triggers us. And it's a learning process. But the whole thing with the soulmate relationship is that there's unconditional love. We just feel like that person's supposed to be in our life. We don't understand why that person's supposed to be in our life. We just know that they're supposed to be in our life. They impacted our life somehow because they make us look at ourselves differently. And that's what's happening here. This person is like, oh, I kind of wanted to ruin this person. Now they're like inspiring me. What the fuck is going on? And now I have real feelings for them, where before I was just a little attracted, but now I have real feelings because like this shit is real. Like I don't like it's changing me. It's transforming me. I want to feel that way again. Of course you do, because it's inspirational when you connect with a soulmate. Just inspirational on every level because they make us look at ourselves, make us look at the relationships altogether differently, life differently. And that makes us do things differently. And that changes our life. That takes us into a whole new, different direction, one that we would never take on our own, but one that will bring us inevitably to unconditional love, to more love. And that's what it's about. But it's stirring up this person's soul, which, by the way, overrides the ego. In the beginning, this person was a little bit too much in their ego. Like, I don't like the way that you do things. Like, they're not done properly. I don't like the clothes that you wear. I don't like the way that you say whatever it is, your view. But I love you now. But I love you now. So let me tell you, this is a collective reading. So some of you will not love this person, will be like, well, and of course, now that you've already damaged the relationship, and then spirit may say, well, we need to look and see why you attracted this person and what you need to heal, because a lot of times when people trigger us, and they are a soulmate, we still love them. However, they awoken something that's not healed within inside of us. And if we integrate what needs to be healed, it actually makes us not want to not want to be with that person. What makes us not want to be with the person is the fact that they hurt us and we're afraid that they're going to do it again. We didn't learn. And so, like I said, this person loves you. I want to see how you feel, but it's a collective reading. So again, know that everyone's going to be different. However, I pushed you away because I was scared to commit to a real relationship. Well, I feel like that was more them, not even you, to be honest with you. No, I feel like this is still because this is I don't deserve you. You're too good for me. I took you for granted and treated you badly. I'm sorry. And that's like I said, this is still their energy. And I think it's because collectively, some of you will and some of you won't. And it's more about the perception from this person's perception. However, let's just say you do want to be with them. What is a healing energy? And why did you attract them? What needs to be integrated? Because let's assume you want to be with them. And you say, well, I want to be with them, but they trigger me and I don't know why they're in my life. What am I supposed to be learning from them? What am I supposed to be healing from them? And because regardless of whether you want to be in their life or not, spirit is saying, well, whether you want to be with them or not, you still want to know what the inner child wounds are. Why did you attract this energy into your life? Because if you didn't learn from it and you don't want to be with this person, well, you're only going to get the same lesson again. The same karmic lesson comes through another relationship. So if you don't heal the block, it'll keep you locked into the perception of however they made you feel. And the wound is, but again, what makes you feel a certain way. So we get to see the inner child wound, then we're able to at least integrate that energy, whether you want to be with this person or not. So that's why spirits, like, it's irrelevant. This person feels bad. Like, they feel bad about what they did. They want another chance. They love you. They're learning that they can't really hold back either. And it's making them very emotional, is what I feel, where that's why they can't stop thinking about you, because they're also thinking about what they did and they're full of regret. And on top of it, feel like they missed an opportunity. And they really do have feelings for you. They see everything now. So we have to say, okay, magic, you needed to find your own magic. And I feel like this person thinks that you're magic. And the magic could be what you're creating, what you're manifesting, how you transformed yourself. It was about you going through a similar experience and handling it differently. Where maybe as a child you went through that experience, but you didn't really create anything with it, but you did this time. You became very psychic or very intuitive as a child, very imaginative, but you didn't develop a craft. I feel like you developed a craft. That's where the magic comes from. You found your magic. And let's see, love, to love yourself. Because if you didn't grow up with support, well, and this person triggered you, what did they trigger? I'm not lovable. So what Spirit said is, when you love yourself, you actually find your magic because you're feeding yourself and you're creating yourself. You're not giving to this person. You weren't giving to this person. This person was a bit arrogant, I feel like, when you first met them, and they're not anymore. One more, isolation. And that's again that, like, you were left alone, like you were not supported. And so that's what it triggered. It triggered isolation, feelings of not being loved, and um, it triggered you to find your magic. And your magic is your unique individuality. And this is what this person actually sees. And this is what is also inspiring them to come back. It's not just that they love you because I always liked you. It's just I didn't like your process. I didn't like what I was seeing. I didn't understand your job. I didn't understand your vision. I didn't understand what you were doing. I didn't think it was going to manifest into anything. Now I see it. So that's what it did. And it made them actually look at themselves differently and get inspired to actually want to help you, is what I feel, or want to help you in some way, whether that's with your business or just create support for you. But they're driven to do this now, where before, like I said, they weren't. So we're going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know whether you resonated with this video. And if you did, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe to the channel. Always, always, always show me love. I need it. Write the word unstructured in your comment bar if you want to win a reading with me. And I'll see you all soon. I love you. Bye.